Okay, normally we see y equals 10x minus 5x squared is normally what we do, and then we would write dy dx. And if we did that, we'd get the x goes to 1, 10 ones are 10. 2 comes down to be with the 5 minus 10 x to the 1 less, which is 1. But that's with the symbol x and the symbol y, and that's the process. So we do the same process, differentiation, but instead of y it's s, and instead of x it's t. So we differentiate now, not with respect to x, but with respect to the symbol t. So t goes to 1, 10 ones are 10. The 2 comes down to be with the 5 to make minus 10, t to the 1 less, isn't it? 1 less than 2 is 1. So can you see these are the same? It's just that the process is the same. It's just the symbols are now S and T. So it doesn't. We use Y and X, but don't get bogged down with the fact that you have to use Y and X. These symbols are S and T, but if you don't like it, then translate that to Y and X, work out the solution, and then translate it back to S and T, and you'll arrive at the same answer. So there's the SDT then. Just to review it, the T goes to 1, just like X did. 10 ones are 10. X to a power, so t to a power, the power rule. 2 comes down to be with the 5 to the minus 10, t to the 1 less. Now there's the dsdt, d2s, so differentiate again, get the second derivative, same process. Constant goes to 0, t, just like x, goes to 1, t goes to 1, 10 ones are 10, with a minus. Okay, so this is the rate of change of distance with respect to time. Because dy dx is the rate of change of y with respect to x. Oops. So if that was s, it would be the rate of change of s, which is the distance, with respect to x, which is the time. So let's put that in. The rate of change of distance with respect to time. Well, what is the rate of change of distance, which is in meters, say, with respect to time? Meters per second? That's velocity, isn't it? Is the velocity or speed. So velocity, okay, is the rate of change of distance with respect to time. And then if you do differentiate that again, it's the rate of change of velocity. So if we did a d by dx or d by dt of ds dt, again, that's the second derivative, isn't it? So take the velocity and do a d by dt on it, and you get the second derivative. So it would be the rate of change of velocity then, which is what this is now, with respect to time. So how quickly the speed is changing. The rate of change of velocity with respect to time is the acceleration, isn't it? So this is just the acceleration. Is the acceleration. And that was the velocity. So that's what they are in terms of physical quantities then. Okay, and we found them both. Now, B, at what time does the SDT equal 0? Let's have a look at that then. Equals 0 when 10 equals 10t. Move the 10 from times down to divide. 10 over 10 is 1. Read it from right to left, t is 1. So that's when the velocity is 0. So when the velocity is 0, this is negative. This is the turning point, isn't it? It's negative, so it will be a max. d2s by dt squared is negative, so it's a maximum value turning point. And what does s equal when t equals 1? Let's have a look then. At t equals 1, s is equal to, what have we got then? We've got 10t minus 5t squared. 10t minus 5t squared. T is 1. 10 minus 5 is 5 meters. So that's how high it gets to at the highest turning point at the top when it's thrown up. So this maximum height is 5 meters. Let me just work that out. Okay, at what time does the stone hit the ground again? Okay, well when does S equal 0? Let's have a look at that then. It was 10t minus 5t squared, wasn't it? Yeah? So when does the distance equal 0? So here we've got a 5 as common and a t as common, haven't we? That would be a 2, and this would be a t. So here this tells us that t equals 0, which is when it initially goes up from the ground, or when 2 minus t equals 0. This tells us that t equals 0, and this one tells us that t equals 2. So it's on the ground initially, and then it hits the ground again 2 seconds later. So the answer for C, when does a stone hit the ground? Answer is t equals 2. Because it doesn't hit it when it goes up, because it goes up from there.